Bound from Texas Avenue to Garth Road, all lanes are closed here till 5 a.m. Monday morning. Traffic being diverted over to the feeder road. New accident reported I-45 north southbound at Cypress Wood Drive, involving a couple of vehicles. Also, South Sam Houston Tollway east, both east and westbound, between Fuquay and West Belfort. You have the left lane blocked in both directions till 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's a 15 to 20-minute drive from 59 to 288. Gary Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
A real soaker of a day. Good day, everybody. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez, bringing you more rainfall to kick off the holidays this weekend, the weekend before Christmas, and it is raining all over southeast Texas for the afternoon. Temperatures will be mostly in the mid to upper 60s today, depending on how much rain we get. That'll define our temperature for the day. Today, there's an 80% chance of rain, but dropping down to a 50% chance by the latter part of the afternoon. The rain will taper off tonight. It's going to be a chilly one. Take your jackets if you're going out and about. You won't need your rain jacket tonight. It'll be down to 50 degrees by Sunday morning, highs in the mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez in the Channel 11 Weather Center.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. This is a busy travel day. The AAA says 95 million of us will be hitting the road between now and just after New Year's Day, and it could be tough going, whether you leave today or on Christmas Eve. ABC's Damon Lane is watching a huge winter storm system.
We're going to see this ice stretching from Oklahoma City to Tulsa all the way up into around Columbia. And then later this evening, headed in towards New England states there. Hazardous roads, power outages certainly can be expected. The snow side to this storm will stretch from Wichita, Des Moines, Milwaukee.
That system is now blamed for at least 2 deaths in Oklahoma City, and it could cause problems for the East Coast in a few days. If you're not traveling, you may be shopping, and your procrastination could pay off.
Toys R Us, just one of the many retailers catering to last-minute shoppers. The toy chain will be open for 87 uninterrupted hours through 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
ABC's Lindsay Janis. 25 years later, we remember Pan Am Flight 103.
Now, it has been said that time heals all wounds. But you here know that that is not necessarily true.
Former FBI Director Robert Mueller speaking at a memorial service today at Arlington National Cemetery. The plane exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland, about a half hour after taking off from London, bound for New York. 5.5 hours on a spacewalk. That was long enough for astronaut Rick Mastracchio.
Latch is closed, latch is twisted in the latch position and locked, and it feels solid.
He and Michael Hopkins got plenty done, though. They replaced a faulty ammonia pump on the International Space Station's cooling system, and they breezed through most of the work that had been planned for Monday. And that means that they may be able to skip a spacewalk, which was scheduled for Christmas Day. You're listening to ABC News.
Looking for a great price on a new hardwood floor?
Every floor in every store is on sale now at Lumber Liquidators in the Vier Flooring Clearance. Clearance flooring is just 19 cents a square foot. First quality laminate, just 49 cents. Pre-finished hardwood, $139. Plus bamboo, hand scrape. If it's in stock, it's on sale. And get special extended financing. Hurry, these incredible deals will not last. Sales going on now. Visit LumberLiquidators.com or your store before these deals are gone.
Financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payment required.
Because Wendy switched to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars on car insurance, her vacation savings jar wants to pat her on the back. But it can't. It's a vacation savings jar. It doesn't have a palm to pat with. Even if it tried, it'd just spill change everywhere and make a mess. Switch to Geico, and every time you see the extra cash, you'll know your vacation savings jar wants to pat you on the back. But remember, it can't. It's a jar. It is, however, happy that you're saving money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
4 men are charged with murder in a deadly carjacking last week at a mall in New Jersey.
In a statement, the wife of 30-year-old Dustin Friedland said she's grateful to the New Jersey authorities who tracked down and arrested 4 men now accused in the carjacking and shooting death of her husband. The 4 men, for now, are being held on state charges. But carjacking is also a federal crime, and prosecutors will determine in the coming days whether they should be tried in federal court. If that's the case, those 4 men could face the death penalty.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. Documents from a stolen cache of former NSA leaker Edward Snowden show the spy agency carried out A lot of information, not just here, but also by its UK counterpart.
The latest revelations from documents leaked by former National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden indicate the NSA and its British equivalent, GCHQ, teamed up to target a former Israeli prime minister, the UN's children's charity UNICEF, and several German government buildings. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Several human rights organizations have condemned the targeting, pointing out the scope of surveillance goes way beyond potential terrorists. Linda Albin, ABC News, London.
If something feels, well, just a little bit different, this could be why. Winter arrived, at least officially arrived, a little after noon Eastern time, although in parts of the country you would pretty much be convinced it's been here for a while. This is ABC News.
The opportunities are red hot in the Houston economy. Ask yourself, am I positioned to prosper from the financial boom happening right now? Whether you work from a 1099 or a W-2, each week, Johnny Profit with the Executive Entrepreneur will help you leverage your talent, experience, and connections. Act now. Business-minded people just like you deserve a piece of prosperity from the world's energy capital. Phone lines are open. Dial 713-622-6397. Follow us on your social media platform of choice at EE Hour or email your questions and comments to online@eehour.com. Now here's your host, Johnny Profit.
Oh, and let's get this holiday party started. Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour. I am Johnny Profit. With me in studio today, I have the wonderful Le Michelle Price. You'll figure out why later. Go ahead, now say something.
What did you just call me?
Le Michelle. I went to...
if you're going to try to do French, you have to actually get it right.
We're going to work on that.
Le Michelle.
There you go.
With the French accent.
We're going to be going to La Madelaine's later. Daniel Cohen's in the studio with me as well. Jesse's sitting next to me, making it possible for you to watch us. And Joel's in there on the wheels of steel, turning songs. So anyway, this week has been very busy because of, for some reason, when that mall opens and those sales go up and, you guys just like to crowd up all the streets. Plus, we got a lot of construction and we got a lot of activity going on in the city, which is really what we want to key off on today, is how to take advantage of all the activity, all the money that's coming into the city today. And again, the show is The Executive Entrepreneur with the sole goal to help individuals that have like brains and passion and drive separate themselves from the pack and go out there and just do wonderful, incredible, prosperous things.
Us intelligent folk.
Yeah, and non-lazy too. Yeah.
Well, if you're intelligent, for the most part, you're usually not lazy.
I know a couple. Trust me, they're smart. They'll wear Jeopardy out. But then if I say, can you go get a sandwich? They're like, oh, God.
But see, that's not what I call intelligence. So we need to start looking at our definitions because that's just stupid.
I'm so feeling it. Hey, are you going to come back as your other you in another segment and then go back? Because we're sitting across the pond. Literally, we drew a pond and threw it in there. So Michelle and I, we're looking at each other across the pond.
We're looking across the pond at this most delicious man.
We're going to take this to satellite radio. So, Daniel, what's going on in your world?
Just gearing up for 2014, being smart. And then, I'm going to
Is it possible for
go
you
underground.
to get smarter?
Yeah, this guy's pretty awesome.
Go underground to visit with my family for about 5 days and then turn it back around. So.
Sweet. Jesse, I think your mic's hot. You want to get in on it? Jesse's here. He never says anything. He's all about the visual.
Trying to be smart, too. Looking at summer of 2014. So
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
14, 20. Yeah. Okay, and so my plan is, I don't have one. I'm just going to keep showing up here and talking to you folks. So.
Don't believe that.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, okay, so the big push today is to get across to you a process that I use when we're setting up companies, because one of the problems I have is when I'm talking to business owners and they're fixated on a small business, it's hard for me to communicate back and forth with them because they want me to do things that are, shall we say, not big picture. They're at 30,000 feet when I need them at 50,000, because if you're in business, you just get a lot more traction higher up at higher altitudes than you do when you're sitting down there in the thick air and trying to compete with low-flying traffic. So to get you to understand why I don't get a big thrill out of, spending $2,000 and going to a trade show when we could spend $300,000 and go get a really, really fast car and take it and go race against other people that have really, really fast cars, is because when we're out there racing fast cars and I turn to somebody who has a $400,000 car with $30,000 worth of trailer motor sitting in the back, and I'm like, what do you do? And then they tell me, And then we start talking and conversation breaks out and we're just like laughing it up and life is good. And then the next thing you know, we somehow find a way to work together because winners love or appreciate winners. And it's hard for people to understand. So if you're a fan, there's 70,000 fans sitting in the stadium, but there's about 37 players out there that really can relate and understand each other. And so when you have that ability to move up to the next level and you're not stuck in the crowd just cheering for folks, you're actually doing stuff. It makes a huge difference in how fast things can happen in your life. And, literally it's the difference between your favorite actor and your favorite sports person or whatever. They see each other, they cross paths on Rodeo Drive or on Miami Beach somewhere, and they give each other a nod like, I know you're awesome, I'm awesome too. And you keep it moving, and they do great deals like that. So anyway, we're going to talk about the process today. Stay safe out there. I know it's freezing up north, and it's looking like we're going to have some high-speed winds tracking through here. So with that said, we're going to gear up. We're going to go check out the weather and traffic. But again, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Weekend traffic.
Watch out for construction. Highway 146 northbound from Texas Avenue to Garth Road. Freeway shut down with construction until 5 a.m. Monday morning. Traffic diverted to the feeder roads. Accident blocks 2 right lanes. I-45 North Freeway inbound at Cypress Wood. You got stop and go traffic from Spring Stubner. High water in the left lane on the Hardy Toll Road inbound at Aldine Mail Route. And I-10 the Katy Freeway outbound the West Sam Houston Tollway. You've got high water. This is to West Sam Houston southbound connector ramp. Jerry Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
Good day, everybody. Mario Gomez with a tornado watch across southeast Texas till 6 o'clock this evening. We'll be tracking the HD Doppler throughout the afternoon and bring you the latest. For now, though, there's an 80% chance of some brief heavy rain with some embedded thunderstorms that could produce a tornado at any given time. Be on the lookout for that. Temperatures will be, for the most part, in the low 70s as the rain continues to fall. It should all come to an abrupt end this evening with temperatures down to 50 degrees by Sunday morning. Highs only in the mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez in the Key HOU 11 Weather Center.
News 92 FM is proud to bring you this holiday greeting from our local military men and women.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Stephanie Berg. This is my husband Jeremiah and our kids, Chloe and Jackson. We're stationed at Incirlik Air Base, Turkey. Just want to say happy holidays to my grandmother Irene, my aunt and uncle, and my cousins in Friendswood, Texas. We miss you, we love you, and we hope you have a happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Chief Petty Officer Stephen McClellan. I'm here in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and I'd like to wish happy holidays back to my family in Seabrook, Texas. Happy holidays. I love you.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with Johnny Profit. Remember, you can watch and listen to our show at www.eehour.com. Call 713-622-6397. Again, that's 713-622-6397 to join in. Now back to our program.
I do want to say thank you to the folks that showed up at the Urban League this past week. We had a really good turnout. I was pleasantly surprised because a lot of folks had engagements already set up and they couldn't come, board meetings, Christmas parties, all that kind of stuff. But special thanks to all of you because it was a nice crowd and we ate pizza. So yeah, Daniel, thanks for sending your father.
Hey, I gave up premier tickets to go see The Life of Walter Mitty.
I told him to go. Right. And another guy showed up. I think it was Chris or something. Let me see. No, Roy. No, that was your dad. But yeah, so we had quite a few people show up. But and yes, Michelle was there. Not La Michelle, but Michelle was there.
Just Michelle from Texas.
And Jesse was there as well. So we hung out. It was a great family family night. But let's get down to it. So in order to create a really cool company that makes money without jumping through the hoops and doing a bunch of silliness and dragging and burning up time and money, one of the things that I always focus on when it comes to human behavior and understanding like when it changes as an opportunity to make money is tracking the people that can punish and reward them. And so when you look at deals that come to town, somewhere in the mix, someone made it possible to either get rewarded or to punish the competition, whether it's Exxon or whether it's the Shell play, whatever, somewhere in there legislation popped into play that played to their advantage because there are going to be a lot of new millionaires on Obamacare because the package was written to make money. And so I don't know who you follow. Like, I'll do the C-SPAN in the morning and I'll listen to it, whatever, the buzz, see what they're doing on the House, on the Hill. I'll track what's going on in Austin. And I'll listen to City Council if I'm doing local stuff. So I don't know your take on it.
C-SPAN tells you everything that you need to know. C-SPAN in combination with coverage of what actually happened at C-SPAN. Like back in the day, you'd be able to see. I remember at one point, there's a famous instance in Newt Gingrich just like yelling in the House chamber, and then you found out that nobody was in the room. So you watch it, and then get some cross coverage from insiders. There's a really good site called Political Wire. It's a little bit yellow, but check it out.
What was it again?
It's called Political Wire, politicalwire.com. That's a good site to go to. Watch media, like watch how people respond on a camera.
Yeah. Because, the big takeaway is this. So, as I said before, if you've ever listened or you attend the workshop, owners set out to create protection for themselves. When you own something major, you got to protect it, and the people that protect it are those in government. And so what will happen is they'll go out there and say, hey, we need rules and regulations and accreditations and all kinds of certifications put in place to block or to protect what we have. And so if you can get a hand up, for instance, if you're sitting here right now and they say, hey, guess what? It will be illegal to drive around in the city of or in the state of Texas with a cracked windshield, and you see them pitching it back and forth for 4 or 5 months, and you see the glass company, the sand company, all the folks getting in, and you see the ones that oppose it, the liberals saying, no, you can't tax the poor people because they all got broken windows. As you're watching this thing unfold, you should be thinking to yourself, I need to start buying sand or hiring people to start replacing glass, because the first ticket that's handed out as a penalty, you're going to get paid on because they'll be forced to change their behavior. And so that's why for us, I love working with attorneys or people not so much practicing law, but that understand, that can sit down and read a bill, that can read regulations, because once you cut through it, they tell you all the loopholes. They tell you where the pain can be. And once you find a person's pain, you can twist it till they give you all the money. But we don't like to do mean stuff like that. But anyway, so the whole point of it is once you get the regulatory thing in play and you start thinking to yourself, hey, John said I need to get up each morning, every day, and follow how they're going to make human behavior change. Then we look at the financial market, because a lot of you focus on CNBC and Wall Street Journal and all this stuff as though it is it, when in reality, they simply react to regulatory policies. And so at the end of the day, you should say, I started out listening to the law. Now I'm going to see how the market's going to react, because if you know where the money is going, you can go get some. And so, it doesn't matter if you're in real estate or if you're in a trucking company or whatever. Your job as an entrepreneur is not to build the ultimate business that you love and it's so precious to you and it's the only thing you've known how to do since high school. Your job is to get in the way of a lot of money, go put that stuff away somewhere and go live a wonderful and enjoyable life. That's just my opinion.
Don't you think it's possible to do both?
You can. It's kind of like the book. You can have it all, just not at the same time. Like I can be a person who...
Because if I'm going to look at what's going on and what the possibilities are, and I'm going, okay, I've done construction, I like that. I've, operated over here in the marketing space, or I've operated over here in the health space. And all three of those are going to propel forward because of things that are all happening in regulations. Then it makes more sense for me to go after the three I'm already familiar with than to try to do something in a space I know nothing about.
And so that goes back to being connected and using your skill as a talent and not as your breadwinner or not as your baby. And so, we're all good at a whole lot of things, but we actually pour our energy into markets that need and are willing to pay us, So, when I meet people that, you're good in construction, you got the marketing background, and what was the third one? Health. And so immediately I'm thinking like, wow, we're going to build some dynamic medical centers up and around Exxon. As those, because the next thing I'm going to say is people are getting sick. We can't take them anywhere. So if they pay $300 a square foot, they get exclusive limo service to your facilities. Okay. So no, it's never about, not doing what you enjoy. Because to some extent, I enjoy doing radio a little, sort of, some days. But it's about, hey, there's folks out there that need business information. There's folks like you that can give it to them. So let's get on air and do it. But I don't ever follow my passion or dream. I get the money and then I go spend it on passion and dreams. Because there's a lot of times I don't do things, sports I didn't enjoy doing, but it had some benefits. What?
You're in good shape.
Yeah, I got my little tiny shirt on again. That's been the new thing. But no, so you're absolutely right, and that's one of the hardest parts when I'm talking to small business owners is telling them, hey, look, I know you really want to start a restaurant, but you were in charge of a $20 million pipeline. Can we talk about something else maybe? No, I just want to. I'm like, are you able to retire? No, but I just think, if I start a restaurant, I could probably make, I think, like, $100,000 a year according to this data I pulled up or something. I'm like, but you managed, everyone in the industry. You managed $20 million, and you're going to take all that talent, all those years, because you're burned out and you don't realize, just change the people, don't change the game. And so you're right, don't jump into stuff you don't know. But
have you seen kind of the opposite too, where somebody starts a company and their company is dedicated to achieving dreams that are interconnected in a way that it's never before been seen? And you say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's like every other
You're blowing
blog.
smoke up in each other's butt.
Yeah. Like when they're chief something weather forecaster. But speaking of that, we're going to go outside real quick and see what it's like and make sure you're not bumping into each other. You're listening to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with the crew.
News 92 FM. Weekend traffic.
This traffic update is brought to you by Men's Clinics of America. Watch for the accident blocking two right lanes, I-45, the North Freeway inbound. At Cypress Ridge, you got stop-and-go traffic starting at Spring Stubner. It's a 5-minute delay. Call Men's Clinics of America to have a great night tonight. Men's Clinics of America can do in one day what years of life have taken away. Go to mensclinicsofamerica.com for the special $99 offer or call 713-588-1416. That's 713-588-1416. Make the call and feel the difference. Gary Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
Planning your weekend before the big holiday this Christmas coming up and Christmas Eve? Well, plan on a very soggy day today, but cooler, drier, and much colder weather ensues for the rest of the holiday coming up. We start off with an 80% chance of rain today. Temperatures in the mid-60s by the afternoon. As a cold front drifts through, we're looking for 50 to start off your Sunday morning. Highs approaching the mid to upper 50s Sunday, thanks to that cold front. It'll get much colder by Christmas Eve, and on Monday, temperatures will be downright chilly. Low 30s Monday and Tuesday, highs mostly in the low to mid 50s both Monday and Tuesday, but the rain is gone. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies by Christmas Day. Temperatures will start off in the mid to upper 30s on Christmas Day and a high of about 60 degrees. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez from the KHOU 11 Weather Center.
The Marketplace, now open in Sugar Land at US 59 and Sugar Creek Boulevard. This store features a variety of international foods. They've got a fresh bakery with your local great slow dough breads. And it's so good. The wine department with hundreds of wines from nearby and around the world. Try the Marketplace Eatery. Pre-prepared meals, sushi bar, hot bar, salad bar, sandwiches, and to-go items. The Marketplace by Fiesta in Sugar Land at US 59 and Sugar Creek.
Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with Johnny Profit. Remember, you can watch and listen to our show at www.eehour.com. Call 713-622-6397. Again, that's 713-622-6397 to join in. Now back to our program.
All right, so we're back to the program, and I would be remiss if I did not say that lovely voice you hear is Faith. Used to be Uconwa, and now she's married. Congratulations, Faith and Albert. They're getting married today. Oh, many, many years of happiness. Anyway, okay, so anyway, you hit on a great point about, if the words that are coming out of my mouth seem uncomfortable or annoying.
Well, too many times what happens is people will focus on their discomfort. And they'll do what I call argue for their limiting beliefs.
Wow.
Instead of really exploring, why do I feel uncomfortable, for example, with what John's saying?
Right.
And what can I learn from that? And how can I ask myself better questions, therefore, so I can take better actions and get to the end result that I want to? But instead, they dig their heels in. They start arguing for their limits because they're too emotionally connected with a belief that's not serving them.
That's really, I love that, because this morning I had a conversation with my son of 6, and there was something he didn't want to do. And so it immediately registered that he was starting to lean towards seeking comfort in life versus his father, who's always seeking to be uncomfortable. And in doing that, I realized he will get a routine, he will get a pattern, he will get locked in, and he will become exactly what society or his comfort zone puts him in. So that's the only part I've ever had as far as learned behavior. When people say entrepreneurship is something you can learn, and I'm like, it's not the entrepreneurship part of it you can learn. It's, can you get comfortable with being uncomfortable? Because everything in my life's been, when the first time I fell out of a plane, it was like, well, this is pretty uncomfortable, but most people don't die, so I'm going to go ahead and just fall out. I'm going to take this position, even though everybody up here has a PhD, but what's the worst they can do? Laugh at me?
Yeah, that's becoming
like that.
That's becoming just more aware.
Yeah.
In being able to say, okay, yeah, this makes me really uncomfortable, but I have the opportunity to make a difference for myself as well as what I want to accomplish in my business, or I can just become a robot.
Well, because amazingly enough, due to uncomfortability, that's how we met. That's how all of us have met. One of us just said, you know what? Normally I don't walk up to people and just, hey, what's up? And for whatever reason, we all walked up to each other and said, hey, what's up?
I think we're the ones that we were the only entrepreneurs in the bar. You go to the events and it's, I'm learning more and more and more, and I've come to kind of accept it, right?
Yeah.
There's this wish to take on apprentices. There's this wish to create other entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, whatever you want to call them, innovators. But a lot of people really aren't looking to do that.
Right.
They're not looking to hear that. They want to do something else.
Yeah.
And so that's fine if you want, and some businesses rely on those people.
And you can learn real fast just from what they ask you in their follow-up questions.
Wow.
They hold the white flag of surrender up pretty quickly.
They really, yeah, you're right. It's and so kind of wrapping that whole point up, you need to really turn inwards and figure out, are you in a comfortable spot? That's why it's hard for us to pull executives off the ledge, small business owners that are comfortable off the ledge, because I walk into your business and I'm like, wow, you already have tons of money. You already have great products. Look at all that stuff that the big 5 companies can't touch. Let's go get that. And then they look at me like, yeah, but, it's either more work, John, or I've never been in that area before. And I'm like, but nobody wants that extra $1 billion sitting over there. It's too small, or the people that want it are too unqualified. You're perfect. Yeah, but I'm just going to open up a few franchises.
There we go, arguing for our limits.
Yeah. And it's amazing that we fight with that. And then it's worse when we take them on as clients, because we'll walk in and see all the greatness and the goodness, not on hype and garbage, on the fact that we already have a lot going on. So we don't have a lot of people to push us. So every once in a while we can turn and just push somebody out on stage and be like, I'll take care of lights. I'll make you a superstar. Just do your job. And they're like, oh, I'm scared now. Like, oh. So,
to be fair to these folks, a lot of them are walking around after getting a $50,000 chunk taken out of their butt by a consultant.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Oh, man.
I don't know, but you see it a lot.
Oh, but that's still arguing for a limit. So you made a bad decision.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And someone else comes along who actually has something to offer you, now you're going to argue.
Can I get a discount?
I'm like, please. Yeah.
Need to see it on the balance sheet.
That's supposed to be your lesson.
Yeah.
That chunk out of your butt was your lesson.
Right.
Now,
That's your
what
degree
are you
plan.
going to do from that?
Right.
Hopefully, you're asking better questions.
But I started posting this morning because, Jesse, if you go online to eehour.com, you look at some of the videos, you check us out on Facebook. Jesse's sitting here next to me, put together a lot of great pieces, and he sliced it up, me running my mouth for a while, and the thing I said had to do with, look, you got to enter this thing as either a business person, as either a manager, you're going to manage a business, or an investor. Those are the two big things. And I don't know too many successful investors that don't get uncomfortable or don't venture out there. And, I hate to use the word take risk, because I slammed that this morning as well, because I said entrepreneurs don't take risk, we realign resources. And I still believe that, and it holds true. I'm not going to get started on that, but
It's just a matter of doing without to better yourself. It comes back to the basic of like the salt of a really good, hardworking mindset.
And that's I found that was the other thing, with the whole push in this market to keep everyone a consumer so we can keep it going. It's easy to fall victim, and I go back to the mind of a 6-year-old. When he was small, McDonald bad. I'm like, that's my boy. Now it's like, Daddy, they got the new razor at the Target. Daddy, they got this. Daddy, I'm like, oh, stop it, dude. Stop,
what'd you do?
Consumer.
What?
Right. That's how he feels when I'm like, no buy here, no purchase. It's hard because no different than me talking to certain populations about certain topics. If your infrastructure doesn't support it, then you'll be forced to go to break, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm serious. If the infrastructure for a lot of folks, you hear me once and then you go back and, you're in the same environment. So with that said, the phone lines are open, 713-622-6397, if you want to learn what is next after you find out what the financial industry is doing.
News 92 FM, Weekend Traffic.
Construction Highway 146 northbound from Texas Avenue to Garth Road. All main lanes are blocked till 5 a.m. Monday morning. Traffic being diverted to the feeder roads. I-45, the North Freeway outbound at Cypresswood. 2 right lanes taken away with an accident. Got about a 5-minute delay there. The Hardy Tow Road inbound at Aldine Mail Route. You got high water in the left lane there. I-10, the Katy Freeway outbound to West Ham Houston Tollway. You got high water on the West Ham Houston southbound connector ramp. And I-45 North Freeway inbound at North Sam Houston Parkway. High water on the ramp heading eastbound to North Sam Houston. Gary Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
Mario Gomez here with the extended weather forecast. Getting you into the holidays, be careful if you're traveling up across North Texas from the Red River Valley, from Wichita Falls to much of the Lubbock, Amarillo area. An ice storm warning for those areas through about 6 o'clock Sunday morning. Travelers here in Houston, you'll be slipping and sliding thanks to some heavy rainfall at times around the metro. Temperatures will stay in the 70s for the early part of the day, then dropping off into the 60s throughout the afternoon. Much cooler weather Monday. High temperatures only into the 50s with overnight lows in the 30s. Monday and Tuesday, we could see a little frost in the northern suburbs Tuesday morning. On Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, numbers approaching 60, still in the 30s Wednesday morning, but dry weather ensues beginning Monday as we see dry northerly winds take over. For the middle part of the week, on the day after Christmas, all the shoppers get out. Temperatures are in the 40s early in the day and into the low to mid 60s for the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez from the KHOU 11 Weather Center.
Hi, folks. This is Alan Thicke, and as one of those TV dads, I had to teach the kids about handling money, so here goes. Rule number 1. Don't mess with the IRS. They're cracking down this year. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank account, even your home or business could be up for grabs over unpaid taxes. It's all true. But it's also true that they're offering a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative, an important government program for tax debt forgiveness. It's one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered, so now's the time. You could qualify for a tax settlement that's 75% lower than before these recent changes. The experts at Optima Tax Relief will work to get you the best deal possible. Don't mess with the IRS. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-3585. 800-343-3585. 800-343-3585. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
News 92 FM is proud to bring you this holiday greeting from our local military men and women.
Hi, I'm Lydia Broussard at Yokota Air Base, Japan, and I'd like to say happy holidays to all my family and friends in Houston, Texas. Happy holidays!
Happy holidays from Copeland family in South Korea to all our family back in Houston. We really wish we were there. We love you, miss you.
Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with Johnny Profit. Remember, you can watch and listen to our show at www.eehour.com. Call 713-622-6397. Again, that's 713-622-6397 to join in. Now back to our program.
Joel is working it. I love it. Okay, so welcome back. You know the number, 713-622-NEWS. That was Daniel's observation, because that's what he does. But, so we were talking about the uncomfortable part, and then Jesse brought up the whole risk thing, You want to. I mean, there's a mic. Go ahead.
I guess it came to, as entrepreneurs, yes, we don't take risk, but as far as where we go, what actions we take, but then when you really look at it, many a times the risk, if there is a risk that we get into, is with the people that we get involved with, and just kind of seeing like, how do we get around that?
Okay, so and I'm feeling you on it because see, I have to always cross back and forth between investor, manager, managing a business and calling it mine, investing in a company, I own it and I direct which way it goes. So the reason I lean more towards entrepreneurs should not take risk is because all we're doing is realigning the small business owners that are already there putting capital out, buying equipment and doing all this stuff, but because they don't have the foresight to see markets coming up, because they don't track what's going on, then it's easy for us. And that's why, seriously, and I know I kind of slammed him or whatever, but I love watching The Prophet on CNBC because that's what he does. The reason he can go in there and make it work is because he already knows where the market is. Otherwise, he wouldn't have wasted his time and left Camping World, billion-dollar company, to go into your little sugar shack and say, hey, I can help you start a business. So he's literally coming in as an investor. But when you're watching it on TV, you're thinking he's a small business owner, and he's not thinking small business at all. And so it's a little bit deceptive, but, it's just not deceptive that he's trying to deceive people, but they may misinterpret thinking like if I could walk in with $100,000, it's like it's not the money that makes it. It's the fact that this guy already knows where the markets are moving. He knows where to place you. He knows how to set you up, and he knows who to call. And I think when people go on Shark Tank, that's what they're thinking too. Like, I'm going to talk to this big money person. They're going to stick me in the right place and it's going to just fly off the shelves. When in reality, what are they saying? They're like, look, I already got a distribution channel for you. I already got this. So entrepreneurs struggle and that's what happens. It's like they spun the wheel and it hit them in the head. So it happens over and over again that we still get caught up in people instead of systems and process and markets. And so like, I can't lose money if, being realistic here, if this agency's paying the bill for us to be on air, this agency's providing me space to train, this agency's giving me staff to do whatever, I'm just leveraging everything around me and I kind of manage it, so if I don't show up, I'm not out money. They already have programs that pre-exist. And that's why I said, in the deal when we're looking at small business owners, corporate, government owners, and working class, small business owners are not so much the back, they're the channels. And so I'd rather be on every convenience store gas pump than to be all over Facebook if I had a local product. Because I know at the end of the day, people get, they get tired of certain social media platforms, whatever, but you're going to either pump gas or be on a bus and see the sign as you're driving by. And so, it's just, it's one of those, the risk factor comes in if we get bad information or I don't interpret something right or my timing's poor, which, the risk is, again, who you eat with, who you sleep with. That's the real risk for an entrepreneur. Because they can make or break you, the camp you keep around you. But in reality, it's kind of hard for Warren Buffett to go broke because he already knows how it's going to play out. I mean, if you buy something and then you buy the thing in front of it and then you buy the thing in front of it and you buy the thing in front of it, these three are going to make money and all the little wannabes are going to buy the last one that ain't worth anything. And he comes out like, and that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poor. And I want more small business owners to start thinking about, why did you buy the store? Why did you lease the space? Why did you do all this when all I needed you to do was buy a really nice horse, go to a polo match, tell your jockey to be nice to everybody else, meet a couple more people with nice horses, and say, what do you do? Well, that out there, that's mine. Like, wow, you know what? I happen to do X, Y, Z. Well, the next time you're over there and, let's talk. And so that's why it's hard for me to engage people because they're like, what are you talking about? They can watch it all day on TV. They can watch Robin Leach. They can read the fancy magazines. They can go to the Galleria right now and buy stuff that they can only get one of because they actually made it for people that they take it to their house and give it to them. But it's like, at least I got what they have. And so they feel like they understand or they can relate to these folks that have money and the mindset that goes on behind the scenes. But I would say risk, small business owners, they take all the risk. They take all because remember, the corporations don't take risk. Their job is to protect the resources of those owners. So in every corporation, they're talking ROI, return on investment. They're not going to take a risk. They're not going to take a risk because they'll get fired. They don't get paid to take risks.
They pass that on to the small business.
That's right. They say, hey, you go clean up those porta potties next to whatever, and I'm going to give you $6 a pop. And if you don't do it right, I'm going to get somebody to do it for $4. And I'm going to have a backup. So even if you fail, I know that my boss is not going to fire me because we got year-over-year earnings or we cut costs by X number of percent. So the entrepreneur's job is just look at all of these different areas, all these players, and just say, who's number two? Who's the person that is really, if they had some marketing, if they had some media, if they had some writing, and they had the stuff that's in this room right now, who can we take them to the next level? And that's why when I'm meeting really smart people, I'm like, wow, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, but then as I said this morning, the books that were written on entrepreneurship are the exact same books that were published 70 years ago when it was called How to Be a Better Manager. And then, like I said, when the management thing, because the job started tapering off and moving around the world and all that, then they changed it to How to Be a Small Business Owner. And then all of a sudden, when the bank stopped lending, then it was like, How to Be an Entrepreneur. And so when all that falls apart, I don't know what it's going to be. How to be on Social Security or how to be, how to be broke. I don't know. That's going to be the next thing. So it's just, it's sad and scary because these people walking around giving presentations on how to start a business are saying the exact same thing when we don't live in the exact same world anymore. I mean, we're broadcasting on here. We're live around the world. We got video going. Startup, there's no more begging for time on ABC or CBS or any of that stuff and paying $195,000 to be seen around the world an hour. Days are gone. So people like you and I can jump in, do big things, and get out. And I have monologue to the point I can't talk. So, Joel, if you'll take us outside real quick and see what's happening in the weather, we'll be back right after these messages.
News 92 FM. Weekend traffic.
Good news, we cleared the accident at I-45 North Freeway inbound at Cypresswood. Still got traffic unwinding from Spring Steubener. It's about a 5-minute delay. Cleared the accident North Sam Houston Parkway eastbound at John Ralston. High water in the left lane on the Hardy Toll Road inbound at Aldine Mail Round. Also I-10 Katy Freeway outbound at the West Sam Houston Tollway. You got high water. It's on the ramp to westbound Sam Houston to go southbound. At I-45 the North Freeway inbound at the North Sam Houston Parkway. High water on the ramp heading eastbound on the North Sam Houston. Gary Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
Good day, everybody. Mario Gomez with a tornado watch across southeast Texas till 6 o'clock this evening. We'll be tracking the HD Doppler throughout the afternoon and bring you the latest. For now, though, there's an 80% chance of some brief heavy rain with some embedded thunderstorms that could produce a tornado at any given time. Be on the lookout for that. Temperatures will be, for the most part, in the low 70s as the rain continues to fall. It should all come to an abrupt end this evening with temperatures down to 50 degrees by Sunday morning. Highs only in the mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez in the KHOU 11 Weather Center.
News 92 FM is proud to bring you this holiday greeting from our local military men and women.
Hi, I'm Lydia Broussard at Yokota Air Base, Japan, and I'd like to say happy holidays to all my family and friends in Houston, Texas. Happy holidays!
Happy holidays from Copeland family in South Korea to all our family back in Houston. We really wish we were there. We love you, miss you.
When storms get bad, you want someone that understands Gulf Coast weather and lives it. People you know and trust. News 92 FM and KHOU 11. Chief Meteorologist David Paul and the KHOU weather team know Houston weather. Hear from the KHOU 11 Weather Center every 10 minutes on News 92 FM.
Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with Johnny Profit. Remember, you can watch and listen to our show at www.eehour.com. Call 713-622-6397. Again, that's 713-622-6397 to join in. Now back to our program.
Okay, so I can understand that the things that I'm saying can be like, what in the world are you talking about? So I'll leave it there. Here's what I do want you to know, though. Behind every city, behind any type of prosperity, there's always what we call a resource center, is the label I give them. And so we have a lot of different resource centers here in Houston. In other words, we create something that we export, or we create something that supports something that we export. And we're very excited, if you've been listening and paying attention, that this is here. I think this is going to be the first time in a long time that we have more exports than imports here at our port, which is huge because of stuff. People are buying our stuff, even with a weak dollar. We have the ability to manufacture. We have the ability to make it rain. We have the ability to live prosperous. So I want you to start thinking about, in your neighborhood, who pays the bills. So the first thing we always notice is with any resource center, somebody got out there and they got paid. So let's just take ExxonMobil and their new campus going up there, right? So an acquisition team went out there, I'm sure a long, long, long time ago in consumer years, and they went out there and they bought up everything they needed. They made it happen. They got all the politicians in place. They did the due diligence. Okay, so once that acquisition team came into play, which if you were part of it, excellent. If you knew it was coming and you bought land all around there, great. After that, then a group has to come in and they do what we call monetizing the deal. So now that we own it, we got it, and they usually work simultaneous with the acquisition team. And you could be on any of these teams. So if you're a small business owner, and let's just say you're an entrepreneur with talent, think about how your skill set or your experience can fit in each one of these phases, because these phases happen around the world no matter what. So once they figure out how they're going to make money off of it, in other words, who's going to sell it, who's going to buy it, and who's going to be the middleman and all, then we get our patents and all that other stuff. So then we move up to security. So we have the acquisition team comes in, and there's a lot of buzz, and there's a few pictures and all that good stuff. Then the monetizing team comes in. It's a lot of lawyers, things like that, and buyers all around the world. Then the security team comes in. And by security teams, you got to realize these are people that come up with guns, laws, and shelter. And so what they're aiming to do is to protect the asset, which are the 45,000 people coming in. So you ask yourself, how can you help protect the 45,000 jobs of employees that are coming to this area? Whether you're going to sell them a house, and that's why the housing market's going through the roof right now, whether or not you will actually sell them security systems or guns or whatever it is, you're going to sell them. Once the security team comes in, a lot of lawyers, IP protection, things like that, the labor group comes in. And so what you'll find is workers start coming in. These people are going to flow. So how will you make money off the labor force that pulls in? These are the folks that actually process the resources. So now you're talking about, you're setting up the movie theaters, you're setting up the shuttles, you're setting up the new daycares, you're setting up all this stuff that you may already do, but this market is flourishing for you. After that, education kicks in, and that's when you're going to see Lone Star and HCC fight to the tooth and nails to get all those people coming in. You're going to see corporate learning jump through the roof as they try to get people to learn this and learn that. And so you ask yourself, if you're an instructor, if you do your own side hustle for education and training, how can you help the people help ExxonMobil make more money? That's the whole key. It's all about the resource. So you come up with the program and they got continual education stuff, and you've got years in oil and gas, or you got years in accounting, or years in HR. Now's your chance to get in, because those folks, the labor folks, are pouring in at about 1,000 people a month. Whether it's Exxon or the port or whatever else is going on, or the shell play. After the education group kicks in, you'll notice that a certain culture will begin to develop, because, everybody's now up there, and you're going to see a whole new Woodlands, a whole new Conroe emerge as the Newstonian type come into town. So now you get to shape the culture. And one of the things I heard at the GHP at our economic summit deal had to do with people don't mind working here, but right now they're not really impressed with living here. Because we don't have the beautiful mountains, we don't have the valleys, we don't have the rolling grass, we don't have anything, So you start thinking to yourself, hey, John always wants to start this business that, helps people enjoy the culture. Now's your chance, whether you're the restaurant owner, whether you're the arts and wines person. There's all kinds of opportunities around this one resource. Now, once you start to get a little culture going, you got something going every year, whether it's, in the U.S., it's like Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that. Once you got something going on around this group, then you see a lot more government presence. You see a lot more associations. You see the unions or quasi-unions. You see the associations for teachers, association for workers, the associations for social media experts. You see all these groups start to pop up and pretty much govern each other's behavior and start to create classes. Once that governing group kicks in, if you're the type of person where you like to help people show off, you sell expensive stuff, the embellishment stage kicks in. Once everybody feels like they're going to be here for a while and they're making good money and they're up there in the Conroe Woodlands area and they got, $300 a square foot house and it's 7,000 square feet. Now it's all about making them feel good. So if you're that person that makes $18 cupcakes, that's going to be your phase. Right now, that's not your phase because we're still bringing them in. We don't have that hierarchy. But those are the things that we see every time we set up in a new market. So whether it's driven by a university, a college town, whether it's set up by a movie company or whatever, who's ever making it rain, the acquisition team comes in first. And this is usually when you see roads starting to be built to nowhere. And then you're going to see the monetizing group come in, and you're going to notice all of a sudden there's the cost of hotels and things start shooting up. And this also plays to the Super Bowl as well. You look around, you're seeing all the stuff we're getting ready for Super Bowl, because one day we will get the Olympics, and you're going to see a whole lot more construction. And so wrapping your mind around all this money is flowing in, how can I get in on each level as it progresses? Just real quick before we go to break, it reverses as well. So in the event that Exxon decided not to come and they just shut down the campus for whatever reason, or you take any existing resources, it actually backs its way out of it. And so what I mean by that is if you're sitting there now and you own a business and you're in like the finer restaurant business and all the high dollar folks have moved out because the company's moved them to a new place, your company goes dim, then in most neighborhoods you'll see things like the culture kind of breaks down as new people move in, and then as that kind of goes away, you'll see government protection kind of slip away, and as that moves away, the banks kind of roll out, and before you know it, you live in the hood. And it happens just like that. So this thing takes it takes time. You can watch it the whole way. So that's kind of the, the evolution of economic resource centers, that if you follow it, you can get in wherever you fit in and do almost anything you want to. I never slam anybody for the type of business. I slam them for the type of markets they go after. So with that said, let's go see who's staying in their lanes.
News 92 FM. Weekend traffic.
Construction has all the main lanes blocked. Highway 146 northbound from Texas Avenue to Garth Road till Monday morning at 5 a.m. You're forced to use the feeder roads. High water on the Hardy Toll Road inbound at Aldine Mail Route in that left lane there. Also I-10 to Katy Freeway outbound at the West Ham Houston Tollway. You have high water on the West Ham Houston southbound connector ramp. And I-45 the North Freeway inbound at the North Sam Houston Parkway. Watch for high water on the ramp heading eastbound on the North Sam Houston Parkway. Gary Rice, News 92 FM, 24-hour traffic.
Planning your weekend before the big holiday, this Christmas coming up and Christmas Eve? Well, plan on a very soggy day today, but cooler, drier, and much colder weather ensues for the rest of the holiday coming up. We start off with an 80% chance of rain today. Temperatures in the mid-60s by the afternoon. As a cold front drifts through, we're looking for 50 to start off your Sunday morning. Highs approaching the mid to upper 50s Sunday, thanks to that cold front. It'll get much colder by Christmas Eve, and on Monday, temperatures will be downright chilly. Low 30s Monday and Tuesday, highs mostly in the low to mid 50s both Monday and Tuesday, but the rain is gone. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies by Christmas Day. Temperatures will start off in the mid to upper 30s on Christmas Day and a high of about 60 degrees. I'm meteorologist Mario Gomez from the KHOU 11 Weather Center.
My name is Tom.
My name is Cindy.
We give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
We know our time and money are going to the right places.
Remember, we have to get out of 58.
We live it.
Give. Start getting out of 58.
Volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Executive Entrepreneur Hour with Johnny Profit. Remember, you can watch and listen to our show at www.eehour.com. Call 713-622-6397. Again, that's 713-622-6397 to join in. Now back to our program.
Yeah, so back to our program. So it becomes very challenging in meetings, very tense. Like I've sat at the lunch table where I wanted to choke them and they wanted to choke me because they're saying to me, I know. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, no, you don't. What you know is one little sliver from where you stand, whether it's your corporate experience because you were top at XYZ pharmaceutical company or XYZ oil and gas company. That's what you know because that's what they trained you to do. Now, what I need them to say is like, hey, and that comfort thing and arguing it out, is take a step back and realize you know absolutely nothing. That's why I said I enjoy being uncomfortable, because I realize I don't know jack. You know, and that's what I'm trying, again, get a 6-year-old to understand is, son, you know absolutely nothing. That's the one thing we know. You might recognize a few things. Exactly. That's the sound he gives me. Like, God, I'm a genius. Like, stop letting people tell you that. But most business owners I know feel like they're geniuses. I can look across the crowd of 30, 40, 50 people, and I can tell who thinks they know everything. Go ahead.
You know, I think people ask them questions, and they feel really stupid saying, I don't know. And so they've learned to like fill in some sandwich filler BS to basically pretend that they know what's going on.
I don't think it's good software programming to be telling your brain you don't know things.
Yeah.
There's another way to go about that.
Talk to me.
Well, it's like if there's something that you're not aware of, then use a question to help direct you to that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where things are now, but what I know is I want to, and then fill in the blank.
And see, for me, the hard part is, and just working with Jesse and Daniel this long, is I'm always, I don't know. The reason being is once I know something, I dismiss. I got it. Oh, I need to set up video and run 5 cameras and do all this and fly an airplane at the same time and rev my belly. Okay, cool. Got that. Next. What don't I know? And so that's where I'm saying
but
a lot of times.
There's a difference between saying what don't I know
and
saying I don't know.
Yeah. You're right. And so that, it's a semantics play on words on my part. And the reason I say I don't know is because, again, people struggle to keep up with people like us. And it's not OCD or ADD or anything like that. It's just one of those, once you get a taste of what it's like to literally outpace everyone around you, that it becomes very difficult to settle back in with, I think this weekend I'm just going to kick back and it's been a hard week. No, you're like, okay, last week was cool. We did okay, which our okay is usually better than most people's super. But that wasn't good enough. Now, I don't know how to do it like as I'm looking over the horizon of the next person who just managed to get a $4 billion contract. Like, were they in the right place? Were they this? Were they that? How did they? Ooh, and we get out there and we get it rolling. So, but no, you're right. And I have to be more politically correct when I'm addressing folks.
I don't think it's even politically correct.
But language comes in.
Use questions to kick your brain into gear to help you find the answers.
Yeah. Because for me,
one
it's
of my favorite
in.
is what has to happen for me to, and then I lay out what I want to accomplish.
Gotcha.
What has to happen for me to?
Yeah. And that goes back to our project management side, which is why, key off always on project management, human behavior or sociology, somewhere in the psych zone, and then master the art of communication. And if you can master those 3, there's very little in life that you cannot accomplish. So what do you guys have coming up this week? Because we got like 2 minutes before we got to get out of the studio.
Well, Daniel's actually going to be on the radio Monday with someone else we know. We're going to be talking about gut check for business. So at the end of the year on Breakthrough Business Strategies Radio, we always go, where did we screw up? What did we learn from it? What are we going to do different next year because of it? And I find when you have like 7 people talking about the mistakes that they made, all of a sudden you're getting a mini education going, oh, great, now I don't have to make that mistake or that mistake or that mistake because you just made it for me. Thank you.
Good old peer-to-peer learning. That's what my brain has
been the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Is those exact same questions.
Quick, Jesse, plug your movie.
Yeah, plug it.
Oh, yeah, so working on short films called Rating MLK. Shoot tomorrow. That'll be fun. Been fun 2 weeks.
Action.
And
can I get a part?
Got to hear about it.
Can I get a part
next year?
Can I get a part?
Man, yeah, you can jump out of a plane with exploding everything. Let's do it.
Okay.
Set it up.
Can I wear a tight shirt?
You wear a tight shirt.
Well,
you
don't see that Arnold, Johnny Prophet, Schwarzenegger.
Show me where the MK is. I will take care of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can. Hey, Arnold. Okay, so with that said, you can go to eehour.com to get any of this. We'll archive it. Joel will give us a clip, and we'll put it up there. You can go to SoundCloud and check it out. But the main thing is just go to executiveentrepreneur.com. Walk away, turn away, break away with this on your mind. There is so much more for you out here. Not everyone. Everyone can't win. Everyone won't win. I will never promise you that, but I can tell you this. If you pay attention and you look around, there's a lot more that you can't see that's waiting for you. So with that said, I think we're going to do a workshop. You can go to the website, eehour.com. I think we're going to do one this Friday, next Friday on the 27th, because you should have absolutely no reason you can't be there. So with that said, thanks for tuning in. And we'll be talking to you soon.